Okay, anytime you see an orb web, okay, spiders, that spider's your friend. It eats all the bugs that you don't like. So, something to take into consideration. We're behind the fence. Okay, the home faces south. So we're on the west side behind the fence, and we're coming around here. We got trees too close to the house. The trees shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to a slab foundation. Rain gutters discharge water too close to the house. This is the dining room windows here, and for whatever reason or reasons, we've got discoloration on the windows right in here because we got such foliage, even though we're basically facing west, that the sunlight doesn't get to come in here and dry the mildew off of that. What is that? I don't know what that is. And moving on along, that's the kitchen vent fan. Trees too close. Just don't trip on this. What is that? You know what that is? That's electric conduit. It's supposed to be at least 6 inches above the roof. Now, we're not on the roof, we're on the ground. But I just know this electric conduit was not properly protected. It's obvious. It's dangerous, obviously dangerous. Rain gutter too close. Okay, our party lights, our novelty lights, they're supposed to be a minimum of 10 feet above the ground, but they're also not supposed to be installed in a permanent application. I get that. We got some raised planter boxes over here, and we got some cracks. And then this wooden deck with the novelty lights is beyond the scope of this inspection. It's a little farther out. As a courtesy, I will make some notes about it in the optional systems section. Coming on along, we're learning that we've got vinyl pane, double pane, vinyl frame windows. Oh, I backed out over here so I can kind of pan the roof for a little bit. Just kind of see what's going on. We're going to put a ladder up next to the roof. We're going to use a camera pole as well. And probably won't carry the camera pole around this way. I'll probably just take a ladder around that way. But we like to see it both ways. So coming on along. Got a gas port on the patio. Okay, so check with your manufacturer's instructions for your gas grill. Make sure that's a suitable application. GFCI on the patio. On around. Weep holes over our lintels. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. We'll run you in a little bit, sir. We'll operate you in a little bit. I do have a whole video for that, so. Okay. You know what else is beyond the scope of this inspection? Paving stones. Okay. So, you flagstone like this. That's kind of attractive. Flagstone goes down. You got to maintain it, you know. It drives my wife nuts. I have lots of flagstone in my backyard, other places around my house, and just tons of it. And it never occurred to me until a few years ago, but when my father-in-law was getting on in age, he had a lot of trouble with these flagstone, and it was just like a aha moment, you know, epiphany. Now I notice it so much. So yes, the flagstone's beyond the scope of this inspection, but also I'd like to tell you that this might be challenging to some handy-capable people, or some people of age, or if you've got balance issues, or even your drunk friends. I mean, there's possibilities here. Moving on along. Not really seeing a lot. This piping right here that's coming out of the soffit. Two things. This soffit is continuous, so I'm going to expect to see continuous provisions for continuous soffit air intake baffles once I get into the attic. And these two pipes, Those are your emergency drains for your air conditioning systems. Emergency drains. They're over the window, so when you see the water leaking out, you know to turn the system off and call your air conditioning guy ASAP, or gal, the air conditioning service, and you call the air conditioning folks as soon as possible to come get your system taken care of. That's why they put it in front of the windows. That's what it's there for. These are our main sewer cleanouts in the back of the house. So I imagine that your sewer goes that direction some kind of way. It's okay. Too close, flagstone. Uneven, too close. I haven't opened this yet, but that is and I will, that is supposed to be, that the intention for that was to get to the plumbing underneath the primary bathroom bathtub. Now over here, okay, I can tell that this roof has been replaced because I see this big old white gap on that vent pipe right there, and that should have been painted to protect it from the UV rays of the sun. So when they came in, they pushed some things around, moved some things around, banged on the roof, created that gap. Okay, so the roof has been replaced, and but that pipe should be painted. That would put us to the clothes dryer right there. You want to clean your clothes dryer, and I'll put a ladder. This would be a good place to put a ladder, won't it? I'd like to see if I can get a little closer into that. But regardless, the clothes dryer vent is kinked inside the laundry, and those vents should be cleaned every 6 months. This is your water heater. These are your condensing units. Separate videos. This is called a control joint or an expansion joint. It's supposed to be like that, but it's got a sealant in there. You can't be in North Texas and have this much wall and really not expect. It's not fair to expect not to have some kind of movement. So we kind of plan for that, like the lines in the streets and the lines in the driveway. Okay, this is supposed to absorb some of the movement that's created along this longer wall. Now, it might not do it all the time. You may get some other cracks, but that's what it's there for. And this sealant gets dry, and it shrinks, and it peels away from the brickwork. And so every year or so, you should go around and check your control joint sealant. Some people call them expansion joints. Call them what you will. This is electrical. We're going to have a whole video about that as well. This is our gas meter. Probably won't have a separate video about this, so let's just dive a little deeper. This is for pest control. This is not for termites. Okay, termites are pests, but that's not the target. That's not the target for this. That's for the other bugs like ants and roaches and stuff like that. Okay, well over here I see that we've got electric bonding to the gas meter, and the gas meter's here, and we got isolation valves, so either one of these can be your main water shutoff valve, main gas shutoff valve. This would be my main gas shutoff valve. Put 2 on here so you can take the meter out and service it. Okay, this is universal for piping, but parallel is on. If you turn this around here to where this is perpendicular, and these little holes line up, that's off. And not all valves have the little ears, the little holes, but you know, that's what they're there for. We got wooden car entry doors. We got pictures of them while they're closed. 2 furnaces over this. I'm kind of looking here. I know there's an attic space over the garage. I was just wondering, and it doesn't look like it, but it looks like I might have to use the scuttle hole. Well, sometimes you got to work, bud. Sometimes the work comes to you. Okay. Rain gutter butt ends are supposed to be 1 inch away from the wall. After that, the wall flashing above that, okay, you're supposed to have kick out flashing right there that puts it in the rain gutter, puts it down the drain. Also, your drain, which collects all this water, comes down here. Your rain gutter's too close. You don't have a kick out. There's nothing keeping the water from coming inside this wall. This is all porous. Okay, brick is a very good building material. This home could burn down. You can reuse the masonry and the brick. And it's a good insulator. But one of the characteristics that we plan and design for, we know in this part of the world, we know that we've got drainage. We're supposed to have drainage planes behind it. That's why we have the weep holes. And most of the time vapor comes out through there. But you got water that's running down here unnecessarily. Okay, this rain gutter right here, it discharges directly onto the roof covering. It shouldn't do that. Now, sometimes the cure is worse than the ill because the roof only lasts about 14 years. This house is 10 years old and has got a different roof on it. I suspect that it was, and I'm not 100%, but I don't think this roof is a 10-year-old roof. I think this roof has been replaced in less than 10 years. So the water coming out, I mean, what kind of damage is that going to do to the, what's that mean to the extended life? And, that's open for some discussion. I'm just telling you how it should have been done right. Then we come over here, and we got edge flashing coming right down here. If we'll look up, you've got two supposedly overlaps. All right, edge flashing. And this is rake edge in this instance. It could be drip edge. The edge flashing is supposed to lap a minimum of 2 inches. And over here, I'm getting it. But right there, it's like dead on. It's just butt up. It's not lapping a bit. There's not a bit of lap on that. That's not right. Moving on. Here we go. Where do termites live? In the ground. Oh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Oh. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. Every once in a while, I'll kick this mulch around and find termites. This is what's known as a clue. It's kind of high right in here, too. When you have an arched window like this, weep holes are not required. Only when you have a straight window that's got a metal lintel. And our wood mulch is kind of high right here too. And some of our rain gutters discharge below grade. That's kind of nice. Here we are in the portico. You've got a Ring doorbell. You want to make sure that you've got the codes to this so you can change it so that you can, excuse me. You want to make sure that you got the codes to this so that you can change it. And people don't know when your Amazon packages are coming. There's lots of reasons why you wouldn't want to share your doorbell combination. Front receptacle will not reset. Wood mulch bushes touching the house right in there. You know what I haven't seen? And they made this house ready for resale. The inside's been painted. I can see pieces of painter's tape. I can see different colors of paint on receptacles and stuff like that. I see lots of clues about how this house has been painted and made ready for sale. I don't know what they've done to the exterior walls, but I have not seen a crack. I'm seeing short gaps on the edge flashing again. See it right there. Thought I saw another one. Moving on along, trees too close. I'm expecting the water meter to be out here somewhere. This is where I'm going to take the water pressure, probably. This right here, these are lawn sprinkler irrigation zones. But there's a little one right here. That is for termites. That's not for termites. That is for termites. That could be a bait where you just attract termites so that you have a contract, and so they come out and they check it and see if termites have made their way to the house. Another one is that it could be a termite treatment where they come in and they take the bait home to Queen Mama. She dies and the colony collapses. Now, if this is a termite treatment, then there's two types. There's consumer, which the Texas Department of Agriculture and Structural Pest Control, Texas Structural Pest Control, they don't recognize consumer treatments as being effective. If you needed a termite treatment and you did your own termite treatment, it might have worked, but it does not count. And then they have professional grade. I think Aardvark is one company of several that installs these, and if you've got a contract, I think Terminex does as well. Other companies besides those, and so you might want to ask the seller who's been treating your house, because it's been treated. We don't know if it's been treated professionally or not, so it's something to take into consideration. We're back on this side.